Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Williams-Moore. I am the Program Director for Family Pride for Midtown. Tonight I'm pleased to welcome an amazing vegan chef from my hometown, Kansas City, Missouri, Sadiq Larteh, Chef Sadiq Larteh.
Hey guys, what's going on? Good to see everybody.
Way Too Fresh Eats is just one of the many businesses and organizations Midtown partners with to provide health and parenting workshops to over 50 families. We serve through Family Pride, from exercise classes with New Era Fitness to meal planning with celebrity chef Aki and to prenatal learning with Jamon Birth Village. We are here to address the physical, emotional, and mental health needs of our moms. All right, and since COVID-19 hit, supporting our families has become more important than ever. Because of caring donors like you, Midtown was able to bring all of our Family Pride's programming online and virtual. So first of all, let's just give each and every one of you a round of applause. And thank you for showing up for Family Pride in Midtown in such a huge way. And with that being said, over the past 9 months, Midtown has provided our families with more than 500 virtual home visits, as well as over 25 online workshops and playgroups. We also continue to deliver diapers and wipes to 50 families each month through our partnership with the St. Louis Diaper Bank, which is over 14,000 diapers over the last 9 months. That's a lot of diapers, guys. Plus, when our moms were facing overwhelming anxiety, isolation, and postpartum depression in the midst of COVID-19, our incredible supporters, including NISA Charitable Fund and Flourish St. Louis, stepped up to help us offer free virtual therapy, group therapy, and individual therapy to our moms. So thank you for that. And we also work with Thoughts Out Loud, who specializes in cultural, responsive mental well-being and educational services. Through your help, you've provided these moms with hope and confidence to work toward a brighter future ahead. Please join us in helping Midtown build stronger families in St. Louis by making a gift tonight by calling 314-534-1180 or giving online at midtownstl.org. So with that said, I want to hand the show over to Chef Sadiq. Let's give him a warm welcome.
I'll clap. Everybody here in Midtown is not too new to Way Too Fresh Eats and what I do, so I don't have to do too much introduction. Just talk a little bit about things like Charlie was talking about, all the workshops and really engagement that we've been able to do with the families, kids and parents, both together and separate, which has been really cool. Working with Dilla, working with Barbara, working with Nicole and everybody. It's been really awesome getting to see the kids. Virtually has been different. I did have the pleasure of working with some families doing a couple workshops while everybody was still there at Midtown. So there's nothing like that, but after getting to meet them, it was definitely good to be able to reach out and see them while everybody was kind of not able to be so close and be all together. So we're gonna jump into it. I got a bunch of different fun things we're gonna do. Gonna kind of showcase some of the things that exactly what we did in some of our workshops. But we got one fun treat since we got all of this is for the adults and some of our board members. So we got a little seasonal adult beverage that we're gonna put together that should be some fun. But we're gonna actually make some Alfredo spinach and artichoke lasagna rolls. That's a kind of example of one of the workshops we would do for Midtown moms, an affordable, healthy option. And this one is actually meat-free. She said vegan, but we say plant-based. We do throw in some meat from time to time, but trying to limit it, trying to show people all the options that you have besides using meat. We're also going to be doing one of the apple animals that we do. I'm sorry, not apple animals, but food animals. We got some apples, but we're not doing any animals with those. We did apple owls with the kids this over the summer. We did kiwi and green grape turtles. We did strawberry and banana snakes. So hopefully some of those pictures are out there floating around and you guys can check them out. But we do a bunch of fun things with that. We definitely want to also talk about Way Too Fresh and where we're kind of highlighted and showcased. And one of our local partners, which is the St. Louis Metro Market, even like I say, through this Corona year that we're kind of almost doing 2020, they've been still reaching out and trying to provide access to healthy, fresh food for people in food desert areas where grocery stores aren't always close or that available. So definitely go out and check out the cookbook. You can find it on waytoofresheats.com. You can also find this stylish apron with the logo on it. We ask you to go check us out and support us there. But also the Midtown was also able to give all the families a cookbook at home. So that was also a really cool thing. And just getting familiar with cooking from a cookbook kind of makes it more comfortable, makes it a little bit less intimidating when you're in the kitchen. And so that's what we're gonna do, is have some fun in the kitchen. And just glad you guys could join us, and we're able to be here and do it because of the support that you guys provide us. So thanks.
Thanks.
And I hope you guys enjoy. So with no further ado, if Charlie doesn't have anything, I'm gonna kind of start getting into it. All right, so welcome back in the kitchen. We're Way Too Fresh. We're cooking it up with Midtown once again, one of our workshops, but we're getting to do them all at once, so that's really fun. We're gonna do an affordable, healthy, pretty quick meal, not take too long. Definitely you could get it in on a weeknight. Doesn't have a lot of prep. It's meat free, but it also has a ton of options. We're gonna do a white lasagna with Alfredo, artichokes, and spinach. But you could also put bell peppers, mushrooms. You could incorporate a meat in there. Some Italian sausage would be awesome. But we're keeping it simple, going smooth. We got ricotta cheese we're gonna be using with our lasagna rolls. Definitely a little cheaper. I'm sorry, we got cottage cheese instead of ricotta cheese, because ricotta cheese can get kind of pricey. You can get cottage cheese under $2 pretty much wherever you go. I'm an Aldi shopper as always, so a lot of the ingredients and things that I do use and have found are at Aldi. I know most of the time folks can get to those places, and the one thing I like is they definitely have affordable prices and pretty good quality as well. So a lot of the things I did purchase from there. So if you see something you want to recreate, we can definitely probably make that happen. But we're gonna get started by prepping some of the things. Like I said, we're doing lasagna rolls, so we got the regular oven ready, but since we're gonna be doing the rolls, we gotta actually get them a little bit softer, get them al dente, as they say, so we can roll them up. So we're gonna go ahead and actually just drop a few of these into our water that I already put on. It's not quite at a boil. We're counting out a handful. I'm gonna say 8. We'll try to get 8 rolls in this first batch, and then of course that's enough for all my live studio audience to partake and try some of the goodies too. So we'll drop these in the water and just let them do their thing, get soft a little. Let's see if I have a top here. Could improve the process speed maybe, but we'll see if we throw a top on that. They'll just boil a little faster. But we got a couple things we're gonna get going before. Actually, we are gonna go ahead and prep some of the ingredients that we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be putting into our mix. And so got some 4 cheese Alfredo we're gonna be using. Gonna be using cottage cheese, and then I actually have quarter artichoke hearts, and then I also have some large ones, so I can dice them up to get a little bit of different consistency, and not just all one type of consistency. Also got some fresh spinach. We're gonna chop that up a little bit, make that fine, and then we're all gonna put it all in one big mixing bowl, toss it up, get it all seasoned, add some onion powder, garlic powder seasoning that we're gonna do. And then actually what I'm gonna be doing to spice it up a little bit, I'm gonna be doing a roux, which is just basically butter and flour, but we're gonna whisk it together over a low heat. It's often used in like macaronis, but since we're doing a white cheese and like a lasagna, we're gonna get a little extra cheesy. And then like also gonna shred up a little bit of mozzarella cheese to put on our rolls as well. So let me go ahead and get these going, and then I'm gonna chop up some of the spinach as well. I'm gonna drain these artichoke hearts too. I don't want it to be too runny. When you're actually making the lasagna rolls, it's pretty good to not have your mix so loose like a regular lasagna when it's gonna bake. You kind of want it a little thicker because you want them to kind of stay together and roll and not all fall apart. So I'm gonna drain these real quick. Like I said, we got the whole hearts and the half, so I'm actually just gonna dump a few in here, and then I'm gonna dump the others also, and then I'm gonna make them even finer. We got the halves, of course we got the large holes. I'm gonna make them even finer with my knife a little bit, and probably cut off some of the thick stems. We actually, with the size of the rolls we have, we probably got plenty of artichokes to make a lot more than 8 out of just 2 cans of artichokes. So a little goes a long way. We're doing this, and then of course we're gonna season them up and then add our other pretty much traditional lasagna ingredients, except like I say, instead of using some of the tomato sauces or mozzarella, we're gonna be using doing the roux, and then also doing the cottage cheese and a little bit of Alfredo sauce in our mix. Give us a nice base. So just chopping up some of these whole ones and half ones, give us a few different sizes. Hopefully you guys can see it. Looks like you guys can see pretty good what I got going on over here. And I'm separating the stem a little bit. I don't know if you are familiar with a regular artichoke. It can take a little bit longer to do process if you're doing it raw, but taking off a little bit of that base can be kind of meaty or a little bit too hard on what we're trying to do here with this. It's almost like the crown of the bottom of broccoli or the bottom of cauliflower. Probably good for you, but for what we're doing, we'll take that off to keep it. Like I say, we want a good texture and a good mixture of textures with this mix. So that might be enough actually. And then what I'm gonna do is set these to the side and add the cut portion to my bowl, my mixing bowl. And I may cut and add a few more once I get my other ingredients in there. Like I said, I want it to be a nice mix, a nice texture, but we got plenty of artichoke hearts left. So I'm gonna set my apples aside actually for a second. And we're gonna get the spinach. And actually, instead of dicing, since we're a little bit limited for space, it's nothing like a good old pinch. Get them nice small sizes, decent sizes. It's all gonna be the same. It'll all taste the same. Even if I cut it, you will never know. Like I said, we making 8 rolls on this first round, so I don't want to overdo it on my mix. I got my spinach. I had like maybe a half a pound of spinach that I use here, so I'll maybe use 3/4 of that. You'll have to get it in writing. You got to get the cookbook. You get the cookbook, you get it in writing. Not this recipe, but other good recipes, and then you'll see when I do all my official measuring and things like that. This is as we go. So, like your grandma or your aunt, that's how I learned. And then of course the rest was ninjanuity and kind of figuring out. And fun in the kitchen, getting creative in the kitchen is what we try to encourage people to do. And it really makes people, when you're comfortable in the kitchen, you don't mind experimenting. Don't get too crazy, because then people may not come back for your meals, but you get to experiment and have some fun. So I'm actually gonna get some seasonings going, but I'm gonna actually add half of this cottage cheese here. It's for our mix. Once again, that might have been a little more than half, but we got some for later. I am gonna do half of this Alfredo too. I need a spoon. We're gonna get these prepped, and then we're gonna get to the fun part that all of our half of this here. Because ideally, like I say, I got about 8 shells in there, and we're gonna be doing this in the cast iron in the oven. I'm gonna preheat my oven in a second too. But this could very well feed a family of 4 or more, depending on how much folks are eating, how many servings everybody gets. But it could definitely will go a long way. So I'm gonna borrow from my visiting kitchen. This isn't the home Way Too Fresh kitchen, unfortunately. But so I'm gonna get into the seasoning rack and see what we're gonna add there. I did bring some of my own, some Italian seasoning that we're gonna use to dump in there, but I'm gonna get my other seasonings layered there first, and then I'm gonna do the Italian seasoning last, because you don't wanna overdo it. Italian seasoning can really like take over really fast. So I'm gonna get the basics in there first. So like I say, the basics and staples pretty much almost anytime you're cooking for most folks. I actually, deal with health, and salt is not necessarily a thing that I'm leaning towards or going heavy with. You can always go around it. I am gonna do a little bit of seasoning with some all season though, But a little, like I say, a little can go a long way when it comes to that. Other things, like I say, I also use in my home kitchen is like table salt alternatives. So Mrs. Dash, I forget the name of the one that I use that's from Aldi that's a little bit cheaper than $3 or $4 per serving for Mrs. Dash. But like I say, it can replace some of those other seasonings that may have a lot of sodium in them when you're cooking. But garlic powder, dabbling some of that in there. That pretty much goes in everything I'm cooking. Onion powder also. Get some of this in there. Generous amount. Black pepper. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put in my Italian seasoning last after I get it all seasoned up. I am gonna do a little bit of seasoning salt or all season. Nothing heavy, just for taste. All right. And then, so I'm gonna actually use my spoon here and get us a stir. Y'all can kind of see how it'll come together. And I actually am gonna have to add my cheese too here in just a second. And like I said, I'm gonna add the Italian seasoning. There's a chance that I will add more pepper or garlic powder. Get that mixed. And like I say, I want a good texture. It's not too loose, as you notice. We don't want it too loose because it's gonna be going in our rolls. And if we get it too loose, they won't stay together. It's all gonna get soft and kind of put together once we put it in the oven, but to get it all formed up, we need it to roll proper. And we're gonna get Charlie back in here too when we get rolling, so we can see her make a mess and hopefully make a masterpiece also at the same time, because that's what it's about. But crowd participation is, yeah, I'm gonna get them going. I'm gonna let you do some rolling with it. Save me some sweat. And then also I'll be able to start on some of the other items we got going too once we get these rolled and get ready to put in the oven. I'm gonna preheat the oven at this time also. Let's see her start. Oh, used it once before. 375.
Got it.
I'm smarter than the appliance. All right. So we're cooking there. And so yeah, in just a second, like I said, we're gonna get to our fun item that we've been playing with, which is gonna be it's actually a seasonal boozy apple, as they call it. We're gonna be putting together some seasonal apple cider. And it actually calls for some Fireball whiskey, warm you up, keep you warm on a cold night. And we're gonna do a little dabble just for some taste. Also some little Jim Beam there. And like I say, nice little seasonal drink. Nothing's gonna knock you out. Maybe a little something after dinner. But like I say, we're also gonna put a little bit of seasonal, some cinnamon sticks here, like I say, to give it that flavor. And then a lot of people know fall is the apple season. So a good little seasonal spiced up drink we thought about that people might enjoy. And with Way Too Fresh, it's always better when it's, fresh fruits and vegetables, always doing something fun with those. So we thought that'd be a nice little fun thing to bring to you guys. So we're gonna get to that once we get these in the oven. I gotta add my mozzarella too before we get too carried away. All right, so we got our mix coming together. We got our mozzarella cheese, which we're getting ready to add. We're gonna shred some of that and add it to it. And then also what we're gonna be doing in just a second is I'm gonna be putting a little bit of butter with my flour to create this roux here. And that's what's also gonna go into our mix here. Like I say, it's gonna give it a little bit of cream, a little bit of thicker than adding something loose. Like I said, we wanna have a nice thicker texture to this when we try to get it into our rolls. So just shredding up some mozzarella. Kitchen hack or kitchen preference takes a little bit more time, but you come out with a little bit better of quality or type of cheese is getting the brick cheese and taking the time to shred it yourself. They do a little bit of processing to the bag mixes of shredded cheese. So if you got time, go ahead and shred it up. Get those kids in there. They can shred some cheese. It's a fun activity, and nobody should lose a finger shredding some cheese. So just a little Way Too Fresh hack to make it a little bit a little bit fresher. The fresher ingredients definitely add for better flavor when you're making anything in the kitchen, if you ask me. All right, so we got that in there, nice little mix. I'm just mixing this in here. It's gonna give us, like I say, give us a little consistency. I'm also gonna come back and add the roux, but I probably will come back and shred a little bit more of mozzarella over the top of my rolls. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. That should be going into our rolls here soon. Like I said too, I had some pre-bagged Italian seasoning, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a few pinches of this. If I had to measure, I would say maybe 1.5 tablespoons is what I'm gonna try to add to this mix. Maybe just 1 tablespoon, or somewhere between there, 1 to 1.5. I'm kind of sprinkling to sight, and maybe a little bit to smell, but mainly to sight, so that my mix is evenly kind of colored or you know, pigment, if you will, with the seasoning. So yeah, I'm gonna do 1 more pinch of Italian seasoning, and then I'm gonna go throw the butter and flour in to make our roux real quick. Okay, let's whisk, and then we'll be rolling into the oven, and then our other 2 items will be making a little bit faster, a little quicker, but we had to go ahead and get these prepped into the oven so that they'll be done by the time we're all done. So doing a roux, want to say it's 1 part butter, 2 parts flour. 2 parts butter, 1 part flour. It's used in a lot of different dishes. I've used them before and previously in making macaroni and cheeses, casseroles and things like that. A little bit of flavor, a little bit of texture that it's gonna add for us. But since I figured we're doing our white lasagna, I thought that would be a nice little addition, and I had some other chefs that agree, so that's what we're doing. And so I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of, actually I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon. Like I say, ratios are kind of different on this. I'm making a little bit of smaller batch, just 1 batch. Normally if I was cooking or making for an entire meal or family, we would be making a bunch more, but since we don't wanna have a lot of waste, I'm gonna save some of these things and probably cook some later too. So I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna start with 1 tablespoon of butter, and then I'll add flour, and then if I need to add more butter to get it to a nice texture, I'll also do that. But I'm doing it over a very low heat. All right, guys, so we got our mix all ready to go. I'm gonna top it with some of the roux that we just made, which was, like I say, our butter and flour, and then we're gonna do some rolling. Got my roux off of the stove here, so just gonna add some of this in here and get a little, like I say, it's gonna add a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavor. Butter, butter, flour, a little bit of milk or almond milk. It just goes a long way when you're trying to get a nice little creamy texture, extra little creamy texture in what you're making. People could use a cream of mushroom or cream of chicken and not have to do this, but a little more organic, a little more fresh, if you will. So we did that. We're gonna get ready to do some rolls. We're gonna get Charlie in here, get her hands on some of these noodles, but I'm gonna grab the noodles. They should be all ready. And then I'm gonna grab another spoon, and we're gonna get them rolled up, and then we're gonna slide them into our casserole. Actually, not casserole, we're gonna do cast iron. Gonna coat the pan with a little bit of olive oil so they don't stick. And then we're gonna finish up the rest of our recipe and get to some of the fun stuff. All right, we got plenty of oil. Perfect. So yeah, please try it home. Let us know how it goes. I always encourage people to post pictures of anything that they see or like and try to create themselves on our Instagram or Facebook. It's Way Too Fresh Eats, the number 2, and also waytoofresheats.com. You can find, like I said, the cookbook or any aprons. We're gonna be working on a salad dressing too, so that should be something very fun coming out, hopefully before spring of 2020. But let me grab these noodles, and we're gonna get ready to get our rolls. We got our lasagna noodles fresh out, piping. We'll let them chill for just a half second. But they're not fully done because we're gonna put them in the oven. So we just got them here al dente, maybe even a little less than al dente, and we're gonna roll them up. Pretty much just gonna get a decent little tablespoon we got there, put that scoop long ways, and then we're gonna roll them. Bam. And I'm gonna defer. Well, I guess I should show you how to do it before I just watch you. I'm gonna do one, I'll let you finish the other two. How about that?
Sounds
and then
great.
we'll grab a few more noodles. Pretty simple though, y'all. Hopefully you guys can see. I'll scoot back here. We're gonna slide this into the screen because as soon as I roll it, I'm gonna have to bam, drop it in the dish. And I'm gonna try to put it with the flap side down. But it's almost just like a trifold. You're gonna come over here, scoop it, bam, roll it, and we're gonna set it in the pan. And those are gonna soften up. We wanna try to put that fold side down. I'll do another one. Do the fold side down so that it'll, and I'm gonna fill it up a little more. Do the fold side down so that it'll, and actually let's do this. Boom, we're gonna spread it. Should roll a little evener. A little more even, should I say. Boom. So look at my technique. I done switched it up. Like this technique better. Bam. Yeah, so go ahead and fill that one, spread it down, and then roll it. I think that's a nice, much better way to roll it. A couple more noodles.
I feel like this might have been the method.
That's it. So easy, everyone can do it. And guess what? It's gonna taste the same. Roll it over so the flap is on the bottom. Bam, perfect. Look at her, she's a natural. We do have a few more members of the live studio audience. I mean, this is definitely an opportunity for you to
Sorry, guys.
jump in. Don't be scared, but I'll put you on the spot. If you want to try one, step right up. Normally we have many people participating on our workshop. Since you guys didn't know about it ahead of time and we didn't drop you off ingredients, you just don't have the ingredients to do it. But all of our workshops in Midtown are always hands-on, so that's definitely the fun part.
Yes, we actually prepare all of the ingredients and we do deliver them to each and every family. So Chef Sadiq will tell us what we need ahead of time and they will have the ingredients measured out to a T and ready to go. So I'm ready when you are, Chef.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, like I say, reach out to us if you guys might be interested in doing more. We've been able to work with them. I'm glad we're able to do this one. So yeah, I'll just slide you two on your plate. Bam. Okay. They're hot, be careful, but yeah, I'm gonna let you do all yours. I'm just gonna add my mix. And like I say, we got plenty of mix, and then there's pretty much a whole nother round that we could prepare if we had more folks here. We'd be doing a little more, but in sake of time, and then also in sake of not having a bunch of leftovers this round, we are gonna make a half portion. Bam. Working on a little bit of limited retail space there, so I'm gonna roll mine, and then I'm gonna slide this way.
And I'll step on over.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Roll mine here. Man, we're gonna hit them with a little bit more sauce and cheese before we put them all the way in the oven. Roll bottom side down. And like I say, I think we're gonna get about 8 or 9 rolls out of this first round here of our one mix. Slide that in there, and I think Charlie's are gonna make 5, 6, 7, and then it might just make our pot fit just right. That's our first dish. So that's all set. And then like I say, we're getting on to the next fun portion of our activity, our cook-along. All right, not too hard, not too bad at all. check it out. We got them all ready to go into the oven. Those are getting ready to go right on in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually use a little bit more of our sauce here, just to coat them on top like a good lasagna. And then I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of cheese, but I'm gonna just spread a little bit over the top of the mix. And I'm gonna get my mozzarella out. Do a little more cheese. We're gonna use the rest of the bowl, why not? Oh yeah, nice little casserole feel. And then of course the lasagna rolls are cool, but like they also give you a nice, measured portion in case you got a, Uncle Frank or Uncle Tom that's like always eating half of the casserole dish. Give him 2 rolls, start there, and then everybody they plate well, it plates easily. You don't have to have, it's almost like cutting cake. You don't have to have that big old piece of cake that they cut out. Give them a nice little size, standard size, 1 roll at a time. Helps with portion, it's fun. And like I say, love making traditional lasagnas, but when I got privy of the lasagna roll, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta try that. And it also takes up a little bit less space depending on how much kitchen or casserole space you may have. So yep, we got the topping on there. We're gonna top it with a little bit more mozzarella. We're gonna get this thing in the oven, and then we're gonna get on to the boozy apple. We can sit back and have a drink while our lasagna finishes. And then we're gonna wrap up with our strawberry squid. One of the examples that we would do for the kids in the kitchen workshops, and also the fun with food. So we've been, like I say, working with Midtown a little over a year now. I guess October really makes our year that we actually did last Halloween.
The first one.
Last Halloween we did a white chicken chili and honey cornbread that we did in the kitchen there with families there. So that's kind of our 1 year to date. But we're gonna drop this thing in the oven. I can't wait to pull it out and show you what it's all about. We set our oven on 375. We're gonna put this in, probably give it like 15 to 20 minutes. We'll check it at 15 and see if we need to pull it out. But we're gonna pop this in the oven, and then we're gonna be back and show you guys the boozy apple and our strawberry squid from our kids in the kitchen workshops. And while we're doing those, these should be finishing up. We'll be able to pull these out and show you these beauties when they're finished. And of course, we wish you could be here to taste it, but maybe next time. All right, we're back. Way Too Fresh Eats in the kitchen, cooking again with Midtown. And we got a special little recipe that we're putting together for everybody back at the board and at the office, since we all can't be together to have a mixer or whatnot. We're gonna actually, give you guys a good seasonal idea for some of the things you may have if you got some people over for the holidays. It's actually a seasonal boozy apple, if you will. So we're gonna put a little bit of regular old apple cider, and then we're gonna give it a little kick with a little bit of Fireball. And then just for fun, to make sure it's all well done, just a little splash of Jim Beam in there also. But the real fun thing is we're gonna be putting it over a little bit of heat, and then we're actually gonna be using some fresh cinnamon sticks, and we're gonna drop those in there. The recipe I found online also called for some caramel, but that's a little bit too desserty, a little bit too sweet. So we're gonna, we got something else for dessert that we're gonna be putting together. You guys will have to join us for that, but we're gonna show you how we created this one. Here's a little sample one that we got going, minus the liquid, of course. We're gonna fill that in. But as I said, we did get started a little bit earlier. It comes with basically 3 parts apple cider vinegar. I mean, not apple cider vinegar, that wouldn't be tasty. Just regular apple cider, all right? And then we're gonna give it our own little kick, not minus the vinegar, and that's where the Fireball comes in. So 3 parts apple cider, 2 parts Fireball, and 1 or half, a quarter Jim Beam, depending on how much your tolerance may be, or how early or late it is in the evening, all right? So we got those all going. I did get some already started, but what we gotta do is we gotta make a few more bowls, nice little cups, so that folks can enjoy them here. We got a few people in our live studio audience, and they've been begging for some more. So we're gonna put some of those together. And also, I don't think Charlie got to taste one either. And since I'm doing the hard work and sweating, I'll definitely want one. So we're gonna cut the top off the apple. Not putting it on my head to get shot off or anything, but just the tip of it there. All right, and then one of my specialty little tools, most folks don't have them, but you've heard of it or know what it is, just a melon baller. so that we can get the core of this apple out. And you just kind of go at it for real. I learned the hard way earlier. You don't want to go too deep on the apple, otherwise it won't serve as a cup. And I'm gonna do this first one, and then we're gonna let Charlie get hands on and see if she can make one herself without. See if it holds.
You make it look so easy.
Holds liquid. Yeah. I came and they say, "Do we have mugs?" I'm saying, "No mugs necessary. You make your own cup, and if your cup doesn't hold water, then you just don't get a drink." No, there's plenty of apples, so thankfully they come in a bag, so you get at least one apple to mess up. But you know, I want my cup to have a lot of liquid in it, so don't go too deep. It's not supposed to be a bottomless apple. So that's the real trick I learned. Keep a little thin wall. I'm gonna go around, but I'm almost there. Doesn't take very long.
Right.
Otherwise, your apple will not hold liquid. All right, this guy's ready. The other secret in working with a lot of apples that I've learned is that we also use some fresh lemon. It's also gonna give it a little bit of interesting taste, but I'm actually gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in there. Not much, just roll around so our apple won't get brown before it's time. Otherwise, we're fighting against the clock and it won't look too appealing. But I'm also gonna put a little bit on my top of my apple wedge here, and then we're pretty much ready. So I'm gonna let Charlie try to make one. I'm gonna give her a head start. I'm gonna cut the top off.
Thank you, so kind.
And then just go at it. Start at the middle with the core and just kind of work your way out. Don't use too much muscle or the apple will be no more.
What? Not my brute force?
There we go. So and then I'm gonna get the fun stuff that we got started already on the stove.
Okay, I think my apple is ready to go.
Perfect. Well, so is the mix. Not bad there. Looks good. Here's your top. And let me get you the rest of the things to build your boozy apple. A few little sticks for our top. We're gonna come in at an angle. Please, whoever wins the basket, I would love to see your attempt or impersonation at whatever you create. It would be fun to see. And so we just got our little bamboo sticks that we're gonna put on the top of our apples there. Nothing to the side, leave a little room. Actually, let's leave them off. We gotta get the most important part in there. So we got our apples. I got our mix here. You may not be able to see all the way totally, but like I said, we have 3 parts of apple cider, 2 parts Fireball whiskey, and then 1 part Jim Beam, since we were going for the party effect here. And we put them in, just let them brought them to not quite a boil, just put them over some heat, and then we also added some fresh cinnamon sticks in there, give it a little bit of more of a seasonal spice. We're actually gonna garnish it with a lemon as well after we coat it in the lemon. And I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the college try and give it the pour. I think I can make it happen. Ooh, slowly but surely. My apple's not, oh wait a minute, I was spilling. Uh-oh, I may have a small drip. Maybe Charlie's apple
Let's check her out.
is more seaworthy than mine. Ooh. All right, let's see here.
Nice.
Couple apples there. And then we're gonna add a cinnamon stick. Let's see if I can add a little break. Bam. Ooh. We'll go there. Lemon. Ooh. And then we're gonna, I'll let you add your top. Careful not to tip it. But yeah, we'll add our little top there. And bam, we got a little boozy apple that doesn't taste too bad.
Right.
And they're perfect for a nice little seasonal party or holiday get together. You guys should give them a try. All right, guys, we got the goodness fresh out the oven. We got our white lasagna, spinach and artichoke lasagna rolls right here, ready to go, ready to serve up. We put in the hard work and now we get to enjoy. We definitely hope you guys enjoyed the recipe and hopefully followed along. So maybe you can make some creations of yourself for yourself and your family and share with us. But it's about to go down here in our kitchen. So like I say, we got to thank Midtown for letting us come out and share some of our ideas, and let's just get creative in the kitchen. I'm looking forward to trying this myself, and then like I said, I hope everybody's enjoyed what we put together for you guys. Like I said, I wish you could taste it.
Yeah.
But that's just motivation. As soon as everything is back open, that means you got to come down to Midtown and try one of our workshops, and we're able to put a big spread together for everybody. So thanks.
Again, we
Looking
want to
forward to
thank our donors and all of our participants for coming tonight. Thank you so much. This is why we are Midtown, hashtag why Midtown. And this is a large part of it because we involve the community in helping us make an impact for Family Pride and for Midtown as a whole. So again, thank you guys. See you soon.
Peace.